Welcome, everyone. You've reached Grandma Mo, and we're covering the WNBA. And there were 5 games on Sunday, and this one went into overtime. And boy, what a finish! That regulation finish was phenomenal. Just some key things happened that, boy, 1 or 2 things went different, and Connecticut wins this game. It was, I don't even know the right word to say, just disappointing for Connecticut, but also just they're doing some fundamental things wrong in the end of the game that they're not doing in the beginning of the game. There was like no help defense. Sims and Mitchell were just, if they beat their initial defender, which they're both really fast and really quick, there was no help defense. And they got all the way to the rim in a layup. And then Connecticut, the other key thing that happened in the fourth quarter was Tina Charles got the ball down low and, went up and it looked like a foul. No foul called. And, just those couple little things. And then Connecticut couldn't hit a shot. And Indiana was getting the fouls, and they were also getting those, little darts to the basket. And that was the difference. But, wow. And then there was, you look back at I was looking at the free throw percentage. And, because 1 point would have made a difference in this game. And Connecticut missed 7 free throws. Like I was saying, fundamental things that they weren't doing. But I noticed the help defense was really bad for Connecticut in the final, 5 minutes of the game. And it allowed Indiana to get back in the game. Because they had a 20-point lead, and then they kept whittling away at it. And then they got it down to 10. But then Connecticut built it back up. End of the third quarter, let me look here. I think it was 15 points at the end of the third quarter. Because it was, let's see. That's 48, 58, 63. I don't know. It was 15 points at the end of the third quarter. But Indiana outscored Connecticut 32-21 in the fourth. And those were the things that were happening. Just a free lane right to the basket with no help. There was one time Marina Mabrey was guarding, I think it was either Sims or Mitchell. I can't remember who it was. But she thought a pick was coming, so she jumped, expecting there to be help, and everybody's back was turned. And the Indiana player went, I'm pretty sure it was Mitchell, but it might have been Odyssey Sims. Right to the hoop. Easy layup. You just can't do those things and pull these games out. But just, a couple of really key moments in the fourth quarter that lost this game, for Connecticut. But, it also won the game for Indiana. They were fighting hard. It was a very competitive game, and there were some big shots. Mabrey hit that 3-point shot that put Connecticut up by 4, I think, right near the end. But Indiana came back. And Kelsey Mitchell, they hit their first 3-point shot with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. That was their first one they hit. And then they hit, because they hit 7 total. So, and how many did Mitchell have? Mitchell had 5 of the 7. Lexi Hill had the other 2. And that was it. They didn't take a ton. They took 22. Kelsey Mitchell was 5 for 8. But they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the first half. And that's when Connecticut built their lead. So you break it down by quarters. Connecticut was up 24-11 in the first, then 24-18 in the second. Then Indiana outscored them 23-15 in the third and 32-21 in the fourth. That tied the game. I believe it was 82 points. And then Kelsey Mitchell hit a couple of threes in overtime. and a couple of other baskets, and they outscored them 15-9. That gives you the final score of 99-93. And Indiana gets the win. So they are now 19-16, and Connecticut drops to 6-27. Points in the paint were very even, 54-50. Second chance points, Indiana had 14-9 advantage. But at fast break points, Connecticut had the advantage, 12-8. Biggest lead was 21 for Connecticut and 7 for Indiana. Rebounds were, turnovers were very even, and points off turnovers were even. Indiana shot 46%, 31% from three, but they shot 80% from the foul line, 20 for 25. So, and Connecticut shot 14 for 20 from the foul line. So there's the 2 points. In regulation, that was 2 points and Indiana shot a couple foul shots in overtime too, so that would have been added in there. But Connecticut actually outshot them. They shot 49% overall and 41% from three. So just, good win for Indiana. They had to pull it out. Sophie Cunningham got hurt. That didn't look good. It was weird because it didn't look like a huge contact. I forget who. I think it was Howard that was down there, and Hartley was coming in, and she kind of got mixed up with Howard and kind of fell into Sophie Cunningham's leg, and she pulled up right away. So I don't know. It was weird because it seemed like it was her ankle, not her knee, but they were saying it was her knee. So I guess we'll find out. So looking at the players, Sophie Cunningham didn't score. She went out in the second quarter. Howard was really hustling all over the place. She was the one keeping them semi-close in the first half. She had 18 points, 9 rebounds, a steal, an assist, 2 turnovers. She was 8 for 13, which is 61%, and then 2 for 4 from the line. And then Aaliyah Boston, she got a double-double. She had 14 points and 13 rebounds. And pretty amazing that she only had those 4 personal fouls because she had them early, so she had to play late in the game with those 4 fouls. She had 2 blocks, 2 steals, 3 turnovers, and 5 assists. She was 7 for 13 overall. And then Kelsey Mitchell she was putting it all on her shoulders. Her and Odyssey Sims, they were your 2 leading scorers for Indiana. Definitely guards driving to the hoop. That's where they got a lot of their points. And Kelsey Mitchell started hitting threes late in the game. So she had 38 points. She had 2 steals, 3 turnovers, 6 assists, and a rebound. She was 11 for 12 from the foul line, 5 for 8 from 3, and 11 for 22 overall, which is 50%. So good game for Mitchell. She's going to have, I looked at the rest of Indiana's schedule. It is not, they're going to be lucky if they win the 3 games from here on out. If they win more than 3 games, it'll be phenomenal. They're going up against some really good teams. But we'll see. Who knows? I mean, they pulled this one out, but then again, Connecticut's the bottom of the league. But, Connecticut is no pushover. They lose. It's like Seattle. They lose, but they're, right in it a lot of the times. So Odyssey Sims, 19 points. She had 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and she had 4 turnovers. She was 6 for 13 and 7 for 9 from the line. Then you had Lexi Hill. She hit a couple of 3-point shots. That was also late in the game. She had 8 points, 2 steals, a turnover, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds. Dantas didn't score. She only took a couple shots. Chloe Bibby only was in there for a little bit. She only took 2 shots. Timpson, all 3 of these players only played like 6 or 7 minutes. Timpson hit a basket. And then Turner and Kira Lambert, she was only in the last 5 seconds, so they both didn't score. So that rounds that out for Indiana, and then it seemed like Connecticut was playing more players, but they only played 8 players. Marina Mabrey, 27 points. She was 2 for 6 from 3, 11 for 21 overall, and 3 for 3 from the foul line. She had 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 turnovers. They were trying to go to her late in the game, and she was just getting completely hounded defensively. And then Anisha Morrow, she was great on the rebounds. She was great on the rebounds. She had 11 of them. 1 assist, 2 steals. She was 2 for 4 from the foul line, and then 4 for 9 overall. But she was battling down there. And then Tina Charles had 21 points. But there were some key things that she missed near the end there. And one of them, she was jumping up and down that she got fouled, and nothing got called, and nothing got... she got the ball down low really late in the game. I forget how many, but it was like less than a minute, and she was jumping up and down. So she had 1 steal, 3 turnovers, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds. She was 4 for 5 from the line and 8 for 18 overall, and she hit a 3. Hartley had 4 points. She was 2 for 5. Lecan had 7 points, but she had 14 assists, so that was phenomenal for her. 4 rebounds and 3 steals. Very good defender. And then Rivers, she was hitting a couple of threes. She was 3 for 4. 15 points for her. She had 5 blocks, 2 turnovers, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. She was 6 for 10 overall. Too bad she couldn't have hit a couple of more of those down the stretch. And then Nelson Adota, 4 points. She only took 1 shot. How do you play 14 minutes and only take 1 shot? She went to the foul line 4 times. So, and then Aaliyah Edwards, 5 points. She had 3 rebounds. She was 3 for 4 from the foul line, and she was 1 for 3. So that rounds that out. Rebounds, Indiana actually out-rebounded Connecticut 38-32. And a lot of that was, Aaliyah Boston had 13 of those, but Natasha Howard and Lexi Hull, they combined for 16 rebounds. So good effort. I mean, Indiana had more effort to get the win. They out-hustled them, and it was like they weren't going to be denied. But they escaped by the skin of their teeth because there was a couple little things. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to talk about was the reviewed play. Because Marina Mabrey would have went to the foul line if that call was held up. But it got overturned, and Connecticut had the ball out of bounds instead of getting the 2 free throws. So that, combined with those couple other things, and they went in Indiana's favor and not in Connecticut's. And sometimes that's all it takes. A couple of free throws, if Connecticut made them. I don't know. But exciting ending to this game. Very, very exciting. So that's it for this one, and we'll see you next time.